Danzo Shimura is commonly known as one of the most hated characters in Naruto Shippuden, and not without good reason. The guy is a bit of a dickhead, but this tends to cause some fans to end up downplaying him unnecessarily. So I've taken it upon myself to give Danzo the respect that he doesn't really deserve, but oh well, here we are. But I honestly do think Danzo is very strong, and I actually believe he has the capacity to defeat someone like Sage Naruto if he were to fight him instead of Sasuke at the Kage Summit, but I'll be saving my reasoning for that kind of hot take until the end of this video. Anyways, let's move on to Danzo's scaling. I actually do believe he's very fast, as he was consistently shown to keep up with Sasuke throughout their fight, and he occasionally reacts to the Susanoo, which Obito seems to imply is actually faster than Sasuke himself. Danzo scaling to Sasuke in terms of speed is actually very important, as Sasuke was blatantly shown to outspeed the Raikage in his version 1 state during their fight. Of course, as soon as the Raikage witnessed Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan, he immediately entered his version 2 state and began using body flicker just so he have a chance at combating the Mangekyo Sharingan. And just in case you've forgotten, the Raikage is stated and shown to be relative to KCM1 Naruto in speed in just his version 1 state, which isn't him using his maximum power. And just like that, we got Danzo scaling to KCM1 Naruto in terms of speed, and this is before he even unbandages his right eye, which houses Shisui's Sharingan, which should give him enhanced reaction speed and precognition abilities. Now I will say, when it comes to physical attributes like strength and durability, Danzo isn't nearly as impressive as someone like Tsunade. He's not a tank. However, Danzo is very proficient in wind release ninjutsu, which Kakashi considers to be the chakra nature with unrivaled battle power. This is because many wind release jutsu are based on piercing, cutting, or severing through their opponent, like Danzo's wind bullets or his wind release kunai. Now this is pretty important, because for some reason, piercing based attacks in Naruto are extremely overpowered. So like sharp objects in Naruto seem to affect a character no matter how strong they are. Let me give you a few examples. Exhibit A, Rikudo Madara getting pierced by Sasuke's sword despite it having no momentum before it was teleported. Exhibit B, adult Naruto getting stabbed by another one of Sasuke's swords. Exhibit C, adult Sasuke getting his eye gouged out by a fucking kunai. Exhibit D, the exact same thing happening to Fuse Momoshiki, an Otsutsuki. So like I can make a whole nother video explaining this weird phenomena, but for the intents and purposes of this video, for some reason, pointy objects just seem to bypass durability in the Narutoverse. And all of this is relevant because a key part of Danzo's arsenal is wind release, which he uses to pierce and cut through his opponents. And of course, Danzo has more than just wind release. He also has 10 Sharingan eyes embedded into his right arm, which he can use to perform Izanagi. And I've seen a lot of people misinterpret what Danzo can do with Izanagi. It's not like every time he dies an eye closes, he just is immortal for 60 seconds per eye. This is supported by a databook statement in which it says he is virtually invincible for 10 minutes straight as long as he has Izanagi active. Danzo also has access to Kodo Matsukami, which is stated multiple times to be the strongest genjutsu in Shippuden. And unlike Itachi, he doesn't have to wait 10 years to use Shisui's eye, he can use it once per day due to his Hashirama cell implants. Speaking of Hashirama cells, Obito states that they enhance a person's physical capabilities, so it makes sense why Danzo is so strong since his entire right arm is made out of this substance. Despite Danzo's great scaling and his multiple hacks abilities, a lot of people are still under the impression that he is below Hiruzen and the rest of the Sannin. And quite literally, the only piece of evidence I could find to support this argument is when Danzo says, "I could never catch up to you," in reference to Hiruzen. However, this statement from Danzo doesn't necessarily have to refer to strength. He's seeing his entire life flash before his eyes right before he dies. If you actually look at the context of the conversation that he's having with himself inside his head, he is thinking about how Hiruzen was just a better Hokage and leader overall. As Danzo puts it, Hiruzen was a tree leaf upon which the light shone, while Danzo was just a foundation hidden in darkness. As Hokage, Hiruzen was a very noble man and was respected by everyone not just in Konoha but throughout the 5 great nations, while Danzo was consistently referred to as a very bad person, even by his peers at the Kage Summit. So I do believe this statement can be interpreted differently and doesn't have to be an admission of inferiority to Hiruzen in terms of strength. Now, what if Danzo were to fight Sage Naruto instead of Sasuke at the Kage Summit? So Danzo is a very tricky opponent. You need to have a comprehensive skill set in order to defeat him. So Sage Naruto is strong and he hits pretty hard, but Danzo scales to a faster version of Naruto, so Naruto would already have a hard time landing a hit on Danzo in the first place. The main reason why I believe Danzo would be able to beat Sage Naruto is that he'd simply just be able to outlast him. It was very heavily established during the Pain arc that Naruto could not maintain his Sage mode for long periods of time. As a matter of fact, it's actually stated that Naruto can only stay in Sage mode for 5 minutes at a time, and that's without using a single Rasen Shuriken. Of course, during the 5 Kage Summit, Naruto didn't have the same prep time that he would have had access to in the Pain arc. He doesn't have the extra clones stored up at Mount Miyaboku. So if Danzo can use Izanagi for 10 minutes straight, and Naruto can only stay in Sage mode for 5 minutes at a time, it's just gonna come down to base Naruto versus Danzo. Of course, upon losing Sage mode, Naruto will no longer have access to the Rasen Shuriken or his super strength, and it's possible that he'd even be slower as a result as well. And of course, Danzo could just end the fight at any given time. He still has access to Kodo Matsukami, which Naruto doesn't have a counter to. If you need even more evidence, it's stated that the Kage that attended the summit were actually the most powerful people in the shinobi world at that point in time. Of course, that statement should apply to Sage Naruto because he achieved the form in the previous arc. But like, to be fair to Naruto, there are so many people in the series that just wouldn't be able to defeat Danzo. Like, the initial Izanagi sneak attack would catch so many people off guard. Like, the only reason Sasuke survived the first time Danzo used Izanagi is because he was fortunate to already have the Susanoo up and running. Like, if he hadn't already had the Susanoo up, Danzo would have driven the kunai into his back, and the fight would have been over. Now, there are a couple other things I haven't mentioned about Danzo. Obviously, since he has Hashirama cells, he does have the ability to perform wood release. Now, we don't know exactly how strong or proficient he would be with wood release jutsu, but it's still worth noting. Danzo also has a reverse tetragram sealing ninjutsu tattooed onto his chest, so even if his opponent were to defeat him, he still has the possibility to end the fight in a tie. This tetragram seal will activate immediately upon Danzo's death, and it doesn't seem to require any chakra, as Obito stated that Danzo was already losing control of his chakra before this. So yeah, hopefully this video changed your mind about Danzo and how strong he is. He is still a shitty person, but maybe this video will get people to stop downplaying him as much. Hopefully you enjoyed my scaling though. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, and if you didn't, tell me why in the comment section down below, and other than that, I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace!